Hi, this is Jürgen Rasmussen. Welcome to the Provocative Hypnosis vlog. Today's video is about the problem with problem solving. When I see a lot of agents of change, coaches and therapists work with clients, it's in addition to the disastrous mental illness frame, another frame that's very often used is that of solving a problem, or let's solve your problem. And while I think this frame can be useful at times, I think it's mostly a mistake when it comes to helping people change. Let me illustrate this by giving you a quick story. So last summer, I was home alone for a weekend. The kids and my wife were somewhere else. And in the middle of the night, I decided to make myself some Indian food, some papadums, and I had to, fry these at high temperature in the pan. And suddenly the pan was on fire. There was a little fire on the stove, and I was able to throw the frying pan into the water and put it out really quickly. Nothing big. And of course, the fire alarm went. And what I had forgotten is that if we don't contact the security company, the fire station automatically gets contacted. So 15 minutes later, two fire trucks are at the outside my house, out there with their hoses, and I'm out there with my bathing trunks and my singlet saying, no, 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 it's just me making food in the night. And thankfully I wasn't fined for this. First time offender with the fire department. Now, a couple of hours later, as I was going to sleep, the fire thought emerged. Like the image with a soundtrack of what if the kids were home and what if I hadn't been able to put it out in time. And the automatic kind of thought that appears for me is just not happening. Not happening. The thought dissolved and I went to sleep. Now here's the point. You can solve the fire. There's actually something to do, right? Whether that is using whatever you have available or evacuating the house or what have you. But you can't solve the fire thought. The fire thought is a non-event. The tragedy, or one of the tragedies of most people's lives, is that they spend a huge amount of time trying to solve thoughts, non-events, as if they are events. And they're not solvable. And this is how we end up in rumination and excessive worry. You can't solve overthinking by thinking because you're just adding more thinking into the mix. So a big part of the reason how so many people get stuck in rumination and excessive worry is due to not seeing thoughts as thoughts. And this automatic identification with thoughts moment by moment, which leads to people then trying to solve thoughts as if they are events. I often joke with clients and say, look, if I could print a t-shirt for you, it would say you can't solve a feeling or you can't solve a thought. Now, when people come to see you, it's never during being in a fire. It's the fire thought. It's the what if this happens, or oh my God, I can't believe that happened to me, and what does that mean? It's always thoughts about a future and reconstructions of a past, and these are per definition non-events. They're not happening. The fact that you think it is evidence it's not happening. So there's absolutely nothing to solve. Now the thing is, if your kitchen is on fire, you better do something. Like, there is a problem to be solved. If you kind of just deny that or passively watch it, that would be denial and lead to catastrophe. But if you have the fire thought emerge and you try to solve and fix that, that's just reinforcing an illusion. And it leads to a lot of psychological suffering if done excessively. So what is, denial when it comes to dealing with a real-time problem or event is actually wisdom when it comes to dealing with a thought construct. The thing to do with a thought construct is not to do anything, it is to train yourself to have a different relationship to it, to increase your capacity to really see thoughts as thoughts. I sometimes joke with people and say, look, I've never ever in 25 years of seeing clients had anyone call me and say, are you that agents of change, that hypnosis, NLP guy, blah, 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 psychological illusion model guy? And me going, yeah, well, I'm being chased by this maniac with a knife. He's just cornered me. How do I spin that feeling, right? You never get that call. You never will. Although I probably will someday as a prank because I told that story. What you might get is someone who says, look, every time I intend to go out, these worries about being stabbed or assaulted or mugged or raped may appear. Or I was stabbed once 5 years ago, and I tend to relive that, and it's horrifying. That's your client. These aren't problems to be solved. These are illusions to be seen through. So you don't want the mechanic, the engineer's mindset of tools and techniques. Now, none of this takes away from the ability to plan and organize and to reflect being useful skills in life. So this is why one useful task to give people is often that of setting aside maybe 10 minutes a day for troubleshooting or problem solving, right? To go, if this happens, I'll do this. Or how do I evacuate the house in terms of a fire, or whatever the topic might be. But other than that, excessive thinking or worrying or rumination doesn't do anyone any good. And giving people techniques under the guise of solving a problem is more likely to just be reinforcing an illusion. And it's the opposite of wisdom when it comes to dealing with thoughts. By the way, I'm doing a seminar, my first live seminar in quite some time, given the pandemic. It's the psychological illusion model 2.0. It's the model that I use in seeing clients every day. It's going to be in Iceland, January 14th and 15th, 2023. I really hope to see you there. I'd love to share that stuff with you. If you're interested, go to provocativehypnosis.com, hit the seminar page, and you'll see a link to the seminar. Also know that I see clients every day. That's how I make my living. So if you want to deepen your insight into the nature of thought, the illusory nature of the self, where you'd like to resolve fear, chronic pain, jealousy, anger issues, and my way of thinking resonates with you, send me an email at provocativehypnosis.com. I hope this was useful. Till next time.